What is up, mi gente? I'm excited to share with you some anticipated releases that will come out in August. These are must read and are mostly fantasy, forbidden love, and just have really gorgeous deep themes. So I hope I can convince you to pick one up next month. Some of these releases I'm actually currently reading because I have the arcs, and the rest are books I'm very excited about, but I'm not necessarily working with the publisher to read and review them. Releasing on August 1st is Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. I'm currently reading and savoring Bring Me Your Midnight because it's gorgeous. It's so atmospheric, it's beautiful. You can really feel the nature and the setting of this book. It's just absolutely stunning. The book focuses on Tana, who is a witch but has a really big responsibility of keeping her coven safe. The mainland, with non-witches, normal people like us, saw this coven as a threat and have wiped out her community over the years. Now they live at peace, but what's really going to make sure her coven is absolutely safe is her marriage between the mayor's son and her. They've basically been engaged since she was born, but now that that date is approaching, she of course meets this mysterious guy named Wolf, who claims to be from the old coven, the coven that still practices dark magic, which is completely forbidden for this new coven that Tana is protecting. In fact, the only reason they're even still alive is because the new order of witches only practice low magic, no dark or technically high magic anymore. So now that she runs into this guy and starts to fall in love with him, she's unraveling all these secrets of her new coven, and she's torn between protecting her coven and being ignorant or following her heart for the first time, potentially putting her coven at risk. So I highly recommend it. It's so beautiful, it's stunning, especially if you love dark atmospheric books. You're absolutely gonna love this title. All right, releasing August 8th is Forged by Blood by Ehigbor Okosun. Now this is a Nigerian mythology, and I don't know about you, but I have not read enough, if at all, Nigerian mythology, so I'm very excited about this one because this one also takes place in a society run by a tyrant. And you know me, I freaking love those super dark, dystopian, catastrophic books, and so I think this one is gonna be super cool and filled with a ton of action. So our MC is fighting to survive in this world, but also avenge the death of her mother after putting her trust in the wrong hands. Her people were also absolutely slaughtered, and the magic that she carries in her veins is completely forbidden. So I just love, again, that forbidden element. It sounds so empowering, not to mention the cover is stunning. I am not currently reading this one. I don't have the arc of this one, but I do have a special edition coming through Fairy Loot, so I can't wait to see how they redesign this cover. On August 8th, Medusa Sisters by Lauren J.A. Bear will be released. So Ariadne by Jennifer Saint actually talks about Medusa quite often. It's a very highlighted point in the book. And I had no idea that Medusa's story is actually more tragic than I originally thought. Because of movies like Percy Jackson, I always thought Medusa was this horrendous, hateful creature. And I had no idea that she was this beautiful woman who had something done to her that was absolutely horrifying. And her becoming Medusa has two different storylines. One as a punishment from Athena and one as a blessing from Athena, so that she can never be touched by men again, or that she can rain terror on men for harming her the way they did. And now in this book, we focus on her sisters, which I'm so excited about because we get to know even more about her life and we get to know about their dynamic. And it's true, like even the summary says we don't talk about Medusa's sisters very often, or we just think they are these horrible creatures that are also hateful and not important, and that's not the case. So I'm very excited. The ratings look really high already. I'm not reading the arc. I'm just really excited for this book. Releasing on August 22, we have Foxglove. This is the highly anticipated sequel to Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Belladonna was actually an unexpected read for me because I did not think I would consume it and love it as much as I did. It's the first time I've seen a love triangle in a very long time as well, and she did such a great job writing it. I was absolutely torn between these two characters. This is a gothic romance that focuses on Signa. When she's just a little baby, she sees death come into a room and completely wipe out all of her family. family. Mother, father, aunts, grandmothers, everybody. So she's orphaned, she's alone, and Death is surprised because this tragic event touched everyone except her. And as she passed from a family's home to another family's home, more people kept dying. So she basically feels like she has this curse that Death is constantly behind her, killing people around her. She can't make a life for herself at all. You really feel bad for this character until the final home she lands in, where she's determined to make sure that Death never touches that family and she can finally make her debut into society at 19, find a man, get married, and start her family. So that was what happened in Belladonna, and that ending was chaotic, and I'm so excited for the sequel. Now, I'm also not reading the arc. However, I am looking for a special edition for Foxglove because I really love the first cover. I'm not the biggest fan of the second cover, but there are really beautiful editions out there for this series. So if you happen to have your eye on a special edition of Foxglove, let me know. Next up, we have House of Marionne releasing on August 29th. This one has forbidden love, dark magic, secret societies, and of course this enemies to lovers type of trope going on in there. This one is written by author JL. I do currently have the arc for this one that I plan to read pretty soon, but overall I'm just so excited for this release. The main character has magic that is forbidden. You cannot practice this magic at all, and for a long time she hides it really well until she's found out, and magic hunters are now after her. So she ends up signing up as a debutante for this secret society, and if she passes their 3 trials, she can become a member and store away that forbidden magic forever and basically stay safe. However, if she does not pass, she will die. To make matters worse, the tutor that she has during this debutante and during these trials is actually an assassin in the making. Jordan is her love interest here, but he is literally getting trained to hunt people like her down. So I am really excited about this because I love all of these tropes. You know, I love a good enemies to lovers, forbidden love, magic, destiny, all of this. So I'm really excited that I get to read the arc and jump right into it, and I'll definitely upload my Goodreads review as soon as I'm finished with this book. And finally out August 29th is Never a Hero by Vanessa Lean, and it's the sequel to Only a Monster. I had a lot of mixed thoughts about Only a Monster, mainly because I wasn't a huge fan of the MC, and I did notice a lot of reviewers also had the same issue with her, but we were all collectively dying over the ultimate ship between Aaron and our MC Joan. So in this world we have different families, and they're all different types of monsters with different signature powers, but overall all families and all monsters can time travel. However, the only way to time travel is by taking the life away from humans. Monsters have no problem doing this because they see us humans as just basic things, and they definitely hold themselves to a higher standard and value. However, because Joan is half human, she doesn't have that same sentiment, and she never ever wanted to time travel. Unfortunately for her, her main love interest is a knight that fights off and kills off all these monsters to protect humans. And when she accidentally triggers her own powers and time travels for the first time, causes chaos between her and this man who ends up killing her entire family. And now she's doing everything possible to time travel and save her family. Now Aaron comes into play because his family also comes from a bloodline of monsters. So he's a monster as well, and he also watched his family get murdered. So now he has to work with Joan, even though their families are rivals and they just don't get along. Of course, the forbidden love and the enemies to rivals was so tense here, but you also have the meant to be trope or the destiny trope between her and Nick, the monster assassin. So there are readers that ship Nick and Joan or Aaron and Joan, and I'm definitely an Aaron and Joan shipper. However, by the end of the book, there are a lot of tragic things that happen. We're left on a bit of a cliffhanger of what's going to happen next. I don't want to spoil the first book for you, but I'm really excited that the second book is coming out so we can finally piece these things together. And that's it, y'all. Those are my main most anticipated releases. I hope some of these sound interesting to you. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you will hit subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.